Alright, so let's look at a couple topology things. In this case, I just want to show you what the next step would be after you start getting to the point where you deadlock into not knowing what topology you need to lay down. And this happens a lot in about right this area with students. Okay, so let's look at it. Let's look at the overall scene too. So I have this mesh. Let me go over here and hide my topology stuff. And you can obviously see the topology is pretty bad. Okay, it's just a good sewing dummy, I call it. Okay. And then when I start developing topology for it, well, that's this. And in the last video, I showed you how to quickly make that. But where do the loops go? Right? Where do the loops go? I'm going to hit N to get rid of that menu. Then I'm going to jump into my front view. Hit Z so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to hit Tab to get into edit mode. Again, in the last video I showed you how to do this, where you hold Control and then right mouse allows you to make an extrusion based upon an angle. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is we're going to go down a couple and set out the boundary. Okay, so holding Shift, I can do that to grab those two vertices. Now this is based upon screen casting. Okay, so just be very careful. So what I'm doing here is kind of setting my mask boundary. Not really looking at the amount of times I need to extrude. I'm just going like that to kind of set that boundary out. Okay, now I'll hide this surface and just concentrate on this. And I'll look at it to see what amount of edge loops I need over here to match the amount of edge loops over here. In this case, I'll hit Control R. So that would go here. This would go here, but that's an awful long stretch. Here, 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 here. Well, that's pretty good, actually. So in this case, I might want to move this one down a little bit. I have the snap-on, and I have snap-on face, by the way. Again, you should watch the last video. These are all in a playlist on my YouTube channel. And it's going to be under Modeling 3. Okay, when you have your boundary set, so right here I need one. This one just needs to be moved over. And I need one more here. And I'm just kind of matching these up. So I know they can branch across. Again, if it gets too hard to see what you're doing, sometimes it's easier to jump into this view right here by getting rid of the eye. I'll take these two and hit F. Now I can continue to do that. I can just grab these two edges, hit F all the way across. I could do it that way. I can also do it this way, where I hold Shift and Alt and then hit F. Now the problem with that, I get this going on. Now if I chose to keep that, I would have to knife it. And there's a knife tool over here. I see I have one too many edges up. You can see right there. This one goes here. So let's try that. Let's just do it in a smaller area though. So I'm going to just be patient and go like this and hit F. Then right about here I'll get impatient and just hit F. Now what do? Well, you use the knife tool and you click, click, enter. Knife, click, click, enter. K on the keyboard is knife in some cases, but not the Maya shortcut. So whether you want to focus on doing one face at a time or not, that's up to you. Now this will happen a while if you accidentally do not click exactly on where it needs to go. You'll have to undo a couple times to get there. Okay. Now just be, one of the things that I like to stress is like, don't try to rush this. Sometimes it's easier to just bite the bullet and just do one little section at a time rather than try to get it all at once. So in this case, Control E to extrude, R to shrink, and sometimes you don't want the snap to be on, so you can just click that. Then click back on snap, W, and I can kind of snap that. Now if I hit F, it'll fill that, but I don't want to leave it like that either. Okay, so I'll use knife. And the way I do this is I work on my ends first. Okay, that's quad. And then I can kind of look at this and see if I can make quads here. And then I'll hit Control R to see if I can insert an edge loop going all the way across. Okay, if I can't, there's something not joined. So I'll go through here and make sure that all these little vertices are in alignment. And grab two vertices, Alt M, center. Now another way you can do this is grab all the vertices and say remove doubles. Okay. The thing you got to worry about is the under remove doubles way down here. You have the merge distance. So make sure that merge distance is set to where you want it. Alright, so those are some tips. And I think that'll do it. I don't want to give it to you all, but I think with that amount of tips right there, you can produce just about any part of the topology that you need to. And I would work on the major mask first, and then the rest of it's pretty well cake. You just go up and around, and this flows right into the neck. Okay? And just to maybe illustrate a little bit here. Take 2 more seconds here on my schedule. Busy 5 a.m. in the morning. I like doing something like that. And this is just big, huge faces until you get all the way around. And then you could just start filling polys at that point until you have quads. I also like to leave some kind of natural edge loop in this area for the ear. Okay, and I kind of look at it this way. So Control R here to insert an edge loop. And I do something like that. Again, the rest of it is just matching this to this as far as edge loops are concerned and filling in this natural gap here. When you're done, you can just mirror it over to the other side. Let's pretend I'm done. Right? I'll do something like this, where all the vertices are horrible. They're all jacked up in the center. So I'll go into edit mode, turn off snapping, hit R, and scale these negative. Okay. Then notice I've been modeling on the positive X on this side. Oops. So in this case, I want to do this. Grab here. And then I'll go to Mesh, Snap, Cursor to Selected. Then I'll grab into Tab to get into Object mode. Object, Snap. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, just like, no. Object, Transform, Origin to 3D Cursor. And if I need to mirror that across, the first thing I always do is I'll go Apply Rotation Scale. It helps, trust me. Then go into the wrench and use Mirror. There we go. Not too shabby. So I would only do that after you have it done, though. Again, if you want to see that in wireframe, you click wireframe and you got wireframe. Okay. So that should make it about as dangerous as it gets. When you're done with that, you would hit apply, and then you would have that, and then you could take and join the vertices just like shown with Alt M, or remove duplicates. So I hope you enjoyed my second variation of like a workflow of topology in Blender. Have fun.